Exxaro says lower demand in the domestic market, specifically from Eskom in the first quarter of the year, restricted growth in its half-year revenues. Positively, though, it reported an increase in exports in the first half of the year, up 22%, exporting 3.3 million tonnes of coal. It cited operational challenges, with the cost of production rising on the back of higher oil prices, higher electricity prices, as well as the higher interest rate environment. Logistical constraints at Transnet were also key in denting the mine's profitability, as it has had to produce far less coal than is optimal for its design structure. Its optimal production level should be 50 million tonnes per annum.
Compared to the current operating levels of 42.5 million tonnes, which is 7.5 million tonnes below optimal levels. With stockpiles, exporting 5 to 6 million tonnes per annum. Some are railed through RBCT, and we've got growing volume going to alternative ports, which are railed both by truck and also a little bit of railing. So think about that. It has actually fundamentally changed the construct and continues to put pressure on the cost management and cash costs.
In reaction to the financial results, its share price declined by over 2% on concerns about demand fundamentals.
From a general economic perspective, there isn't a strong demand for energy. We have seen slowdown in the Chinese economy, particularly the property sector, which is a large demander for commodities. And so some of our local intensive energy sectors in mining and in exporting, not demanding a lot of energy from Eskom and from the grid at this point. So it is a softer economy. And so markets responding quite negatively to that. And there is heavy reliance on coal. And, from our perspective, we have typically preferred some of your more diversified miners to avoid this single commodity risk space that, for instance, Exxaro finds itself.
Exxaro's CEO was more positive about the second half of the year when it comes to the logistical constraints, adding that cooperation between the private sector and Transnet is expected to see some improvement in the provision of services at the state-owned enterprise in due course. Nompumelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.